So the Switch 2 got announced today actually, and it got me thinking about how great a console the Nintendo Switch truly is. It's an amazing console. One thing the Switch is not good at though is playing Fortnite. At least that's what I've always thought. They've made some fixes and updated some things for the Switch here and there along the way, but ultimately I wanted to put it to the test to see what the Switch's version of Fortnite is capable of in 2025. Also, I figured later down the road this video might help someone who's trying to decide what console they should get if their main goal is to play Fortnite on it. Now, obviously, Fortnite is not totally compatible with the Switch, but they did a pretty dang good job of compressing all of these different game modes and all of these different things that Fortnite has nowadays into one game that will actually be playable on the Switch to some degree. Personally, my biggest issue is that it's 30 FPS. If you're anybody who's played video games for a long time and tried to be good at them in any way, you've probably noticed that it's a lot harder to play well on a 30 FPS game. Now, that's not a totally big deal breaker because the game is still playable. The 30 FPS is only one piece of the puzzle. I would be fine if they brought the quality down from like 900p, I think it is, to 720p or maybe even a touch lower. If it was capable of running on 60 FPS, that's how important I think it is. Generally speaking, when you're playing the normal Battle Royale mode, that's when you're going to have the best bang for your buck, so to speak, with probably having less frame drops, less issues in general. But when you go to, say, Fortnite Ballistic, which is a new game mode that just got released like a month and a half ago, oh boy, that is rough. I'm not going to lie to you. I played a couple games. It is so incredibly hard to aim in this mode, especially being a tactical shooter like this. It's almost impossible with the Joy-Cons, and you have to be playing with that controller attachment, and it's got to be in dock mode like on a TV or something, because at least for a tactical mode like Ballistic, there's no shot I'm going to play it handheld like that. Putting the controller in this thing makes it feel at least a little bit more natural, but just the way those sticks are designed, man, it's so difficult to aim. That's remained true ever since this came out for the Switch, I think in 2018 up till now, so it's been like 7 years almost that this game's been on the Switch. It's just not made for it. Something that can potentially help with your aiming, especially for a game mode like Ballistic, is turning on gyro aiming. Essentially just lets you use your controller's movement to control parts of the ADS, so that's very helpful obviously when there's not as much wiggle room on the joystick. But even then, you can't rely on that, I've found. You have to do a mix of actually aiming and then doing some fine tuning with the gyro aiming. With this game being so compressed and really stretching the limits of the console, it's no question and really not surprising at all that there are a lot of bugs and glitches with textures and graphics all in the game. Some of them can be pretty egregious, some of them aren't so bad, and for a lot of the issues, it'll kind of like load in after a little bit. The worst part of any game is right at the beginning, right in the first minute or two of dropping in or playing in the game, really, especially, I guess, in one of the modes where you're in the open island. So, yeah, it's just a lot to process for any sort of Nintendo Switch processor. Fortnite on the Switch has this thing called dynamic resolution, which pretty much means that it's going to upgrade or downgrade your visual quality depending on what's going on in the game. If nothing is going on around you, it might make the game look a little prettier for you, but if a lot's going on, it's going to start throttling you and push you way down there in the visual department. But I ain't lying, I'm telling you the truth. There are a lot of issues with Fortnite on the Nintendo Switch from a graphical and texture standpoint. Some of it's not very pretty at times. You just have to be used to that and really just kind of get over it if that's going to be something you're going to do, loading up this game on the Switch. Specifically on a game mode like Fortnite Festival, the 30 FPS issue that we talked about earlier comes back into the frame a lot more. If you get just a little bit of lag, which I promise you, you will, you're going to get your whole lag thing throwing off your rhythm, and in a rhythm game, that is an issue, obviously. You're just not going to do good. It is literally making the game worse by loading in all these different elements in the background, like the people dancing, the people in the crowd. It's just showing you that because otherwise you wouldn't buy Fortnite Festival skins or auras or all that stuff like that. So I know why they're doing it, but if they were to remove all that stuff in the background and just have that coming down the track, the music, it would be so much better. It would be playable, or at least more playable, I think. This game mode, Fortnite Festival, is fringe unplayable just because of all the issues. And if you look out in the crowd and look at the skins even dancing on the stage, they're just so broken. They're going at like literally 1 or 2 FPS. It just looks so bad. Why would you even have that there? How about cut that out? Let's save some of that power to make it just not lag so much on a rhythm game. So if you like Fortnite Festival, or at least you want to play and get good at it and go for high scores, definitely would not recommend. It gets even worse when you go into some player-created maps. So Fortnite's like this metaverse thing now, and people can create almost anything. There's this Octo game map that is literally like Squid Games. Squid Games is like my favorite show. I'm obsessed with that show, so I love playing this. But when you go into this, or really any of these islands on the Switch, I mean, it's playable. It is playable. It is, for sure, but it is not easy sometimes, and you really have to be locked in and just be willing to deal with that. And if you're playing casually, again, you're not really like taking it super seriously. Yeah, like hop on with the boys at night or something, that's cool. Or if you're on a vacation or something and you're traveling and you just don't have anything else, like, yeah, that's cool too. But for me on like a Friday or a Saturday night, like if I'm gonna grind and I'm trying to like lock in a little bit, like there's no way I'm gonna play Fortnite on the Switch for really any of these game modes outside of maybe the actual BR. At least there the issues are kind of limited, but the issue of aiming and 30 FPS and all that combined kind of hits you all at once. And there is a bit of a steep learning curve with trying to learn how to aim for a game like this on the Switch. Trust me, it is not easy. Heavy respect to anyone out there who mains the Switch and is just a god at this game. If you are considering picking up a Nintendo Switch to play Fortnite on, at this point I would recommend waiting until the Nintendo Switch 2 comes out. Like I said, it just got announced today. There's going to be an event in April that's going to disclose the actual release date, but it will be in 2025, so I would probably hold on for that because it's definitely going to be tremendously better. All in all, though, it's great for what it is. Epic did a great job of even getting all those games onto the Switch and getting them to be somewhat playable. Definitely leave your thoughts below. Use code Dr. P in the Fortnite item shop, and we'll catch you in the next one.